the heart of the African wilderness, during a ceremony that has taken place for centuries, a young initiate steps forward, wearing a towering mask of intricate design. The mask, carved from wood and adorned with feathers and beads, transforms this young person into something beyond human, a conduit between the living and the ancestral spirits. As the crowd falls silent, the air seems to thicken with the weight of the unseen. The mask is not just an object, it's a portal. It's believed that within this mask resides the power of spirits, gods, and ancestors, making it one of the most powerful symbols in African culture. But what if I told you that this mask and others like it have been integral to spiritual rituals for millennia, transcending time and place to bind the living with the divine? What is it about these masks that grants them such power? How do they bridge the worlds of the living and the spirits? Why are they used in rites of passage, healing, and communication with the supernatural? In this video, we'll explore the deep spiritual significance of African masks. Why they aren't just pieces of art, but sacred tools that have shaped entire cultures and belief systems. Through the lens of famous traditions like those of the Dogon and Igbo peoples, we'll uncover the rich symbolic meanings these masks hold and how they continue to influence African spirituality today. African masking traditions have deep historical roots that extend back thousands of years. These masks were not just art forms, but integral parts of spiritual, religious, and social life. In many African cultures, the use of masks is intertwined with belief systems that transcend the physical world, connecting the living with ancestors, spirits, and deities. The earliest evidence of African masking dates back to ancient times, with practices found in the caves of the Sahara and throughout sub-Saharan Africa. These early traditions laid the foundation for the complex and varied masking practices that would follow. One of the most famous examples comes from the Dogon people of Mali, whose masking traditions are central to their spiritual and ceremonial life. The Dogon believed that the world was created by powerful spirits who continue to influence human life. Masks are used in rituals that honor these spirits, ensuring that they remain present in the lives of the people. The Dogon's masks are often made from wood and represent various ancestral figures and deities. These masks are not merely worn for ceremonial purposes. They are believed to embody the very spirit they represent, allowing the wearer to communicate directly with the gods and ancestors. During sacred dances and rituals, the mask transforms the wearer into a medium through which spiritual forces can be channeled. The Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria have similarly rich traditions of mask making, with masks used in a range of ceremonies including funerals, initiations, and festivals. For the Igbo, the mask represents the crossing over between the physical and spiritual worlds. Each mask serves as a medium to bring the spirit world into the lives of the people, allowing them to connect with the ancestors or gods. Igbo masks are highly detailed, with intricate carvings that often represent powerful deities, spirits, or ancestral figures. One of the most famous Igbo masks is the Ekpo mask, which is worn during funerary rites to guide the soul of the deceased to the afterlife. The mask's role is critical, as it is believed to possess the power to influence the balance between life and death. Similarly, the Yoruba people of southwestern Nigeria also have a long tradition of creating masks that hold deep spiritual significance. Yoruba masks are often used in religious rituals to honor their gods, known as Orisha, and to communicate with ancestral spirits. Masks like the Iyo mask, which is used during ceremonies that honor Yoruba rulers and gods, are visually striking and represent the spiritual forces that protect the community. The Eyo mask, made from fabric and wood, is used in a parade in the city of Lagos to celebrate the Yoruba people's connection to the divine. Like their Dogon and Igbo counterparts, The Yoruba view the mask as a conduit for spiritual energy rather than a simple artistic expression. What sets African masks apart from those of other cultures is the profound belief in their spiritual power. In many African societies, masks are not merely worn for dramatic effect or ritual. They are seen as active agents in the spirit world. These masks embody a force that transcends the physical realm with the power to heal, protect, or punish. Unlike Western traditions where masks are often used for disguise or theatricality, African masks are a means of establishing a connection between the seen and unseen worlds. Even today, these traditions continue to thrive. Many African cultures maintain their masking rituals, ensuring that these ancient practices remain alive and relevant in the modern world. The importance of masks in African societies is not just about preserving the past. It's about maintaining a spiritual and cultural bond with the ancestors and the divine. As we continue exploring the role of masks in African traditions, it becomes clear that these objects are more than just art. They are essential tools that guide, protect, and sustain the spiritual life of the community.
The spiritual meaning behind African masks goes far beyond their physical form. They are seen as vessels through which the supernatural world can interact with the living. These masks are not merely decorative objects, but active participants in the rituals and ceremonies that connect the people to their ancestors, gods, and spiritual realms. Each mask holds its own sacred power, and its creation, performance, and use are deeply intertwined with spiritual beliefs. To wear the mask is to embody a spirit, to channel an ancestral force, or to invoke a divine entity that can bring blessings, guidance, or protection. For the Dogon people of Mali, masks are central to their cosmology and spiritual practices. The Dogon believe that the world was shaped by the Nomo, ancestral spirits who possess profound power and wisdom. Among the most well-known Dogon masks is the Kanaga mask, which is used during funerals and other significant rituals. The mask is believed to represent the spiritual connection between the living and the deceased, allowing the wearer to embody the presence of the Nomo. The Kanaga mask has a unique T-shape, which is thought to symbolize the balance between heaven and earth, a vital aspect of Dogon spirituality. Through this mask, the community is able to invite the spiritual presence of the ancestors into their lives, ensuring their wisdom and protection. Another important Dogon mask is the satimbe, worn during ceremonies that honor female ancestors. Unlike other masks, which are typically worn by men, the satimbe is specifically designed for women and embodies the power of femininity in the spiritual realm. The satimbe mask represents the idea that women, as nurturers and creators, hold their own connection to the divine. In Dogon society, the presence of the satimbe mask is believed to invoke the strength of female ancestors, guiding women in their roles as leaders, caregivers, and spiritual custodians within the community. The Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria also use masks to facilitate spiritual connections, but their approach to mask making is closely tied to the idea of the mask as a conduit between the physical world and the spirit realm. One of the most famous Igbo masks is the Ekpo mask, which is worn during funerary rites. The Ekpo mask is believed to carry the soul of the deceased into the afterlife, helping to guide them safely on their journey. The mask serves as a spiritual mediator, allowing the living to communicate with the dead and to seek their guidance. In Igbo culture, death is not seen as an end, but as a transition to another realm. And the Ekpo mask helps to bridge the gap between these two worlds. For the Yoruba people, masks hold a similar spiritual significance, but with an added layer of complexity due to their rich pantheon of gods, known as the Orisha. Each Orisha represents a different aspect of life and nature, and masks are used to embody these deities during religious ceremonies. The Oro mask, for example, is used in rituals dedicated to Oro, the god of justice and retribution. Wearing this mask is believed to enable the wearer to channel the power of Oro, invoking his divine will to restore balance and order to the community. The Oro mask is often associated with deep rituals that take place at night under the cover of darkness, when the spiritual realm is most accessible. The Yoruba also use masks in ceremonies honoring the Orisha Ogun, the god of iron, war, and labor. The Ogun mask is worn by initiates during rituals that seek Ogun's favor, often in times of war or when the community requires strength and protection. Ogun masks are often made from materials that are symbolic of the deity's power, such as iron, which is associated with both Ogun's role as a warrior and his connection to the earth. Through the Ogun mask, the wearer becomes the embodiment of the god's strength, courage, and determination, channeling these qualities for the benefit of the community.
In all of these cultures, masks are used not only for ceremonial purposes, but also as powerful spiritual tools. They serve as intermediaries, allowing humans to interact with the divine and the ancestral spirits in ways that would be impossible without them. By wearing a mask, an individual can take on the characteristics of the spirit or deity it represents, becoming a vessel through which that force can manifest in the physical world. These masks are seen as sacred objects, not to be taken lightly or used frivolously. They are revered and treated with great respect, as they hold the power to affect the lives of the people who use them. In the context of ceremonies such as initiation rites, funerals, and festivals, the masks play an essential role in ensuring the success and spiritual integrity of the rituals. In initiation rites, for example, the mask marks the transformation of a young person into adulthood, guiding them through the process of spiritual enlightenment and moral development. During funerals, the masks are used to honor the dead and guide their souls on their journey to the afterlife, ensuring they are received with respect and care. Festivals, on the other hand, provide an opportunity for the entire community to come together in celebration and worship, using masks to invoke the power of the gods and ancestors and to reinforce the bonds that hold the community together. Through these sacred practices, African masks continue to serve as conduits between the living and the divine, reminding us of the deep spiritual connections that bind all life together. Each mask is more than just an artistic creation. It is a living entity imbued with the power of the spirit and the ancestors, ensuring that their wisdom and guidance remain a central part of African cultural and spiritual life.
African masks come in a wide variety of forms, each with its own specific purpose and cultural significance. The most common types of masks used in African traditions are face masks, headdresses, and full body masks, and they all serve distinct roles in spiritual, ceremonial, and social practices. These masks are often classified based on their form, function, and the specific rituals or events in which they are used. Understanding the diversity of these masks is essential to appreciating their deep spiritual significance and the role they play in maintaining the continuity of African cultures. Face masks are perhaps the most well-known type of African mask, and they are worn over the face to embody a spirit, deity, or ancestor. These masks are typically carved from wood and adorned with materials such as beads, cloth, or metal to add detail and enhance their spiritual power. The Dogon people of Mali, for example, are famous for their face masks, which are used in rituals to connect with the spirit world. One of the most iconic Dogon face masks is the Kanaga mask, which features a unique T-shaped design, believed to represent the connection between the earth and the heavens. These masks are worn during dances that reenact creation myths and ancestral stories, allowing the wearer to become a vessel for the gods or ancestral spirits. In contrast to face masks, Headdresses are another important form of mask used in African traditions. Headdresses are typically worn on top of the head and often cover the entire body, creating a larger-than-life presence. These masks are used in both ceremonial and festival contexts, with the goal of invoking the power of the divine and spiritual forces. For example, the Bamileke people of Cameroon are known for their magnificent headdresses, which are worn during royal ceremonies to represent the power and authority of the king. The Bamileke elephant headdress is one of the most striking examples of African headdresses, crafted from wood, feathers, and other materials to create the majestic image of an elephant. This headdress symbolizes the king's role as a protector and leader, channeling the power and strength of the elephant, an animal revered for its wisdom and might. Another form of mask commonly used in African rituals is the full-body mask, which is worn to transform the wearer into a spiritual or mythological figure. These masks are typically worn during festivals and public performances, where the wearer moves and dances to evoke the essence of the spirit or deity they represent. The Yoruba people, for instance, use full-body masks during the Eyo festival in Lagos, where masked dancers wear elaborate costumes to honor the city's rulers and deities. The Eyo masks are often large and dramatic, with sweeping robes and intricate headpieces that help the wearer assume the persona of a spiritual figure. In this case, the full-body mask allows the wearer to physically embody the divine presence, facilitating a deeper connection between the human and spiritual realms. While these traditional masks are integral to African cultural practices, the relevance extends beyond the past into contemporary spiritual life. In many African communities today, masks continue to play an important role in ceremonies, rituals, and festivals. For instance, in the Dogon culture, the Kanaga mask remains a central part of funerary rites, where it is worn by ritual dancers to guide the souls of the deceased to the afterlife. The mask's power is believed to help maintain harmony and balance within the community, ensuring that the spirits of the ancestors remain present and active in the lives of the living. Similarly, in the Yoruba culture, the Oro mask is still used in religious ceremonies dedicated to the Orisha, ensuring that the gods remain present in the community's spiritual life.
In addition to their traditional uses, African masks are also finding a place in contemporary art and cultural preservation. Many African artists today are exploring the symbolism of masks in new and innovative ways, creating sculptures and paintings that draw on the rich visual language of African masking traditions. These contemporary works help to keep the cultural heritage of African mask making alive, while also introducing it to a global audience. Museums and galleries around the world feature African masks as part of their permanent collections, further cementing the importance of these masks as both cultural artifacts and spiritual symbols. Moreover, African masks have inspired artists, filmmakers, and performers globally, with many borrowing elements of their design and symbolism to create works that reflect themes of spirituality, identity, and transformation. In the world of fashion, for example, designers have incorporated African-inspired masks into their collections, celebrating the artistry and power behind these sacred objects. Through these modern reinterpretations, the legacy of African masks continues to thrive, bridging the past with the present and ensuring that the deep spiritual meanings they embody are passed down to future generations. Despite the changing world around them, African masks remain a vital part of African spirituality and culture. Whether in traditional rituals or contemporary art, they continue to serve as powerful symbols of connection to the divine, the ancestors, and the forces of nature. Their enduring presence is a testament to their timeless relevance and the profound spiritual significance they hold within African societies. African masks are not only powerful spiritual and cultural artifacts, but have also made a significant impact on global art and pop culture. The striking designs and profound meanings behind these masks have captivated artists, designers, and filmmakers from all over the world. From the intricate wood carvings of the Dogon to the bold, expressive masks of the Igbo, these works of art have transcended their traditional uses, influencing creative movements and contributing to a broader understanding of African spirituality and culture. The Dogon masks, with their deeply symbolic and intricate designs, are among the most iconic African masks in the world. One of the most well-known Dogon masks is the Kanaga mask, which features a T-shaped structure that is believed to represent the link between heaven and earth. The mask plays a central role in Dogon ritual life, especially in ceremonies that honor the spirits of ancestors and gods. It is used to represent Nomo, the ancestral spirits that are said to have taught the Dogon people the mysteries of the universe. The Kanaga mask, with its unique form, not only embodies the power of these spirits, but also acts as a conduit between the physical and spiritual realms. Its visual impact is undeniable, and its design has influenced countless artists and designers who admire the simplicity and profound symbolism woven into its structure. Similarly, the masks of the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria have had a lasting impact on both African culture and the global artistic community. The Igbo's Ekpo mask, worn during funerals and ceremonies for the deceased, is a striking example of the deep connection between the mask and the spiritual world. These masks are intricately carved and decorated with materials like beads, shells, and cloth, creating vivid representations of the gods and ancestral spirits. The Ekpo mask is not merely a symbol of death. It is believed to guide the soul of the deceased to the afterlife, ensuring a safe passage and maintaining balance between the living and the spiritual world. The power of these masks is evident in their design, both in their visual form and in their spiritual purpose. This combination of aesthetics and deep meaning has made Igbo masks a source of inspiration for many contemporary artists, particularly those interested in exploring the intersections of life, death, and the spiritual realm. The Bamileke people of Cameroon, with their elaborate and often larger-than-life headdresses, also contribute to the diverse and captivating world of African mask making. Their elephant headdress is one of the most famous examples. Made of wood, feathers, and sometimes ivory, these masks are worn during royal ceremonies to symbolize power, strength, and wisdom. The elephant, revered for its intelligence and power, is a symbol of the king's authority and the strength of the community. The Bamileke headdresses not only hold deep spiritual significance but also serve as a status symbol within the society, reinforcing the importance of leadership and social hierarchy. These grand headdresses, like many African masks, are both a visual spectacle and a cultural statement, influencing art and fashion worldwide. Beyond their cultural significance, African masks have had a profound influence on modern art movements, particularly in the early 20th century. The bold, geometric shapes and abstract forms found in African mask designs were revolutionary for European artists who were searching for new ways to express themselves. The mask's strong visual presence and emphasis on the spiritual and symbolic dimensions of art sparked the interest of major artists such as Pablo Picasso and Henri Matisse. Picasso in particular was inspired by African art and incorporated elements of mask design into his own work, particularly in his famous Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. This painting, with its fragmented abstract forms, was heavily influenced by African masks, which Picasso saw as a way to break away from traditional European artistic conventions. African masks have also influenced the world of fashion, where their bold aesthetics have been embraced by designers seeking to bring cultural richness and symbolic meaning into their collections. Designers like Yves Saint Laurent and Jean-Paul Gaultier have incorporated African-inspired mask motifs into their runway shows, using the masks to evoke strength, mystery, and a connection to deeper spiritual traditions. These masks have become symbols of power, identity, and resilience, with their visual impact resonating far beyond their traditional cultural contexts. In the realm of pop culture, African masks have made their mark in a variety of ways, from their incorporation in films and music videos to their presence in global advertising campaigns. The 1990s saw a resurgence in the use of African masks in pop culture, particularly in films such as The Lion King and Black Panther, where masks were used to symbolize the characters' connection to their cultural heritage and ancestral roots. In Black Panther, for example, the use of traditional African masks plays a crucial role in the depiction of the fictional nation of Wakanda, where masks serve as symbols of power, wisdom, and the protection of the community. The global success of Black Panther further amplified the symbolic significance of African masks, sparking a renewed interest in African culture and traditions. Today, African masks continue to influence not only the world of art and culture, but also the way people engage with spiritual traditions. The mask's ability to transcend time and space, to connect the living with the ancestors, and to invoke the power of the divine remains a central part of their enduring legacy. Whether they are being used in traditional rituals or showcased in modern art galleries, African masks continue to inspire, provoke thought, and serve as a reminder for the spiritual connections that bind people to their history, culture, and the divine.
As we've explored throughout this video, the spiritual significance of African masks extends far beyond their aesthetic appeal. These powerful artifacts serve as conduits between the living and the divine, connecting the physical world with the spiritual realm. Whether through the intricate face masks of the Dogon, the ritualistic headdresses of the Bamileke, or the symbolic masks of the Igbo, each piece tells a story of tradition, spirituality, and connection to ancestral forces. Their role in African ceremonies, festivals, and rituals underscores their importance, not just as cultural symbols, but as sacred objects that hold deep spiritual power. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. African masks continue to inspire and influence art, culture, and spirituality across the globe. From their impact on modern art movements to their presence in pop culture and fashion, these masks are more than just relics of the past. They are living symbols that continue to shape the way we understand the relationship between the physical and spiritual worlds. We'd love to hear your thoughts on African masks. What did you find most fascinating about their cultural and spiritual significance? Have you seen any of these masks in person or encountered them in your own life? Share your theories and insights in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of African mask making, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more fascinating content. We'll continue exploring cultural treasures from around the world. So stay tuned for more.